Hello, my name is Steve Shamo. I'm with Microvote Corporation, and today I will show you how to open and close the Microvote Infinity on Election Day. The Microvote Infinity sets up easily by removing the 4 collapsible legs from inside the lid of the voting booth and inserting them into the recessed holes in the bottom of the booth. Once the booth is set upright, open the lid, raise the privacy curtains, and plug in the unit using the cords from the compartment inside the booth. To turn on the machine, push the power switch on top edge of the machine. Locate the large manila precinct envelope in your precinct supplies. It will be clearly marked regarding the proper precinct and the number of operating cards stored inside. Remove the green start card and the blue vote cards or cards from the envelope. With no start card inserted, press the red square cast vote button on the right side of the voting machine. A status screen will appear that will say that the machine is in ready mode. From this screen, you can also verify that the votes recorded prior to voting equal 0. Verify that the date and time set in the machine are correct and that the precinct name is correct. After you have verified this information as correct, insert the green start card into the slot at the top right of the machine. Press until the card feels that it is held firmly by the machine, matching the arrows on the card and the machine to assure proper direction of the card. After the start card is inserted, a screen will appear with numbers listed on the left-hand side. Using the numeric keypad, enter the 4-digit password assigned by your county election official. This password will be listed on your precinct-level checklist that helps walk you through all your election day responsibilities. After the number is entered, press the button on the bottom left that says Done. A screen will appear that gives the poll worker some pre-election options. The first is Show Ballot. Press this button and the machine will present the ballot as it will appear to the voter. None of the buttons for casting the votes will be operational, but it does allow you to review your ballot to make certain the correct ballot is appearing in your precinct. If it is a primary election or an election that requires more than one ballot style per precinct, prior to seeing the ballot, you will be given a list of all available ballots to choose from the review. Press one of these selections and the ballot will appear. After reviewing a ballot style, press the Cast Vote button to return to the screen with pre-election options. Each precinct is equipped with a precinct kit that contains a detachable printer. Remove the printer from the precinct kit, plug it into a power supply, and then plug the gray printer cable into either communication port on the front or the back of the voting machine. This works no differently than plugging in a telephone in your home. Once the printer is connected and turned on, press the button next to the words Print Zero Proof. This will take you to the screen with 2 options, print or cancel. Select print and this will print a results tape, no different than you will print at the end of Election Day. We print this tape in the morning as proof that there are no votes in the machine prior to opening the polls. When finished printing, place the zero tape in the large manila envelope. With the start card still inserted, press the button next to the words Start Election to open the polls. The screen will instruct you to press the button next to the word Start. The screen will change from Mode Ready to Mode Voting Enabled. Remove the start card. At any point during the day, you can press the red Cast Vote button with no card inserted to determine how many votes have been cast on any given machine. You are now ready to activate the machine for the first voter. You as a poll worker will activate the machine for each voter by inserting the blue vote card, again matching the arrows on the card and machine to assure proper insertion. Remember, only a poll worker, not a voter, handles this card. If it is a primary election or the precinct requires more than one ballot style, a screen will appear giving you all possible options. When this screen appears, remove the blue vote card from the machine. Press the button next to the ballot style required for the next voter. For instance, choices may include Republican, Democrat, or school board only, to name a few. After the proper ballot selection has been made, leave the voter alone with the machine. The following instructions should be conveyed to the voter either by instructional poster or verbally before they approach the machine. Try to avoid using an activated machine for instructional purposes. The first page of the ballot is a screen that gives the voter various options to personalize their ballot. 99% of the time, these functions will not be used, and the voter should proceed to the main ballot by selecting Next Page button at the bottom right of the screen. To instruct the voter, simply tell them to press buttons next to the candidates of their choice, and an X will appear next to the candidate's name. If they make a mistake, they may press the button a second time to shut off the X and make the desired selection. The machine will not allow them to make an error by overvoting because the vote limits are set in each office. If an office allows a voter to select more than one candidate, the voter may do so. However, a voter does not have to vote the limit or vote in an office at all if they so desire. If the voter selects an available write-in location, the screen will change to an alphabetical keypad, which they can use to type in the write-in candidate's name. When finished selecting, the button marked Done will return them to the main ballot where they will see the name they typed. After all desired candidate selections have been made, the final page of the ballot requires the voter to select a location marked Confirm Vote. Prior to casting their final ballot, the voter may review their ballot. However, if they are comfortable with their selections, when they selected Confirm Vote, the two red lights will light above the red Cast Vote button. The voter should then press the Cast Vote button to cast their final ballot. The machine will beep 3 times and present a message that says, "Thank you, your vote has been successfully recorded." If a voter enters a precinct in a wheelchair, all practices remain the same. However, it is determined that the wheelchair or a limitation of their reach does not allow them to vote effectively. The voting machine is light enough to be set on their lap or on a table that is more easily accessed. Remember to keep the machine plugged in and apply common sense to guarantee that their vote is cast in privacy. Position the machine so somebody walking past cannot view over their shoulder. If a voter is visually impaired, you will need to attach an audio converter known as double talk that is located in the same precinct kit that you found your precinct printer. This unit does not require an electrical outlet. It is simply plugged into the communication port on the front or back edge of the voting machine prior to activating the machine with the blue vote card. To assure that communication with the device has been established, you'll hear the words, "Double talk ready." Remember, to assure privacy, the headphones must be plugged into the double talk unit. Some voters may bring their own headphones, which is fine as long as they have a standard plug. With the double talk plugged in, insert the blue vote card as normal. The voting machine will behave differently when in this mode. Now, instead of an X appearing when a candidate choice is made, one touch of a button reads the location to the visually impaired voter. 2 quick taps of a button or a double click will select the option at that button. The visually impaired voter should be instructed to touch the button on the upper left corner of the machine to hear the voting instructions, then proceed as directed, button by button through the ballot until ending with Confirm Vote and Cast Vote buttons. The following steps should only take place after all eligible voters have cast their ballots. Once again, locate the large manila precinct envelope. Inside you will find a smaller manila tally envelope for each machine in the precinct. Verify that each envelope contains a red tally card. Also confirm that the serial number on the envelope and on the label on the back of the tally card matches the serial number on the machine, either on the lower left corner of the screen, which can be viewed by pressing the red Cast Vote button with no card inserted between active voters, or on the silver decal on the back side of the voting machine. Insert the tally card into the voting machine, again using the arrows to align the card. When the numeric keypad appears on screen, enter the same security password from the precinct checklist that you entered when you opened the polls and press the button marked Done. Press the button next to the word Tally. Do not remove the card at this point in time. Once again, plug in the printer from the precinct kit into either communication port on the front or back of the machine and make certain that the printer is turned on. Press the button next to Print Tally, and the printer will print results from that machine. At the bottom of each results tape, there are 3 lines to be signed by the inspector and the 2 judges. Remove the red tally card from the voting machine and place it in the serially numbered tally envelope along with the signed results tape from the same machine. Repeat the tally procedure for each machine in the precinct. When finished, make certain to put all smaller manila tally envelopes with tally card and tapes into the larger manila precinct envelope. Also make certain that all start cards and vote cards are placed in the same large precinct envelope. Return this large envelope with your precinct supplies as instructed by your county election administrator. Make certain that when you put your voting machine away, that all legs and cords are returned to the storage compartments inside the voting booth. My name is Steve Shamo. I'm with Microvote Corporation. Today I will show you how to vote on the Microvote Infinity. After registering with the poll site officials, the voter will be directed to an Infinity voting machine. A poll worker will activate a voting machine by inserting a vote card. They will then select an appropriate ballot and leave the voter alone to vote. The machine is designed with 2 rows of gray buttons on both sides of a screen that align with either an office title, a candidate's name, or a desired function of the machine. To the right is a raised red button which will be used to cast your final vote after all selections are made, but more on that later. The first page of the ballot is a screen that gives the voter various options to personalize their ballot. All of these options are available, but none are required for use by any voter. In fact, 99% of the time, the voter should simply push the Next Page button at the bottom right of the first page to begin casting their votes. The ballot begins at the top left of the screen and is separated by office. Each office title states the name of the office, the number of selections that are allowed in that office, and will notify the voter as they vote when they have achieved the maximum number of allowed selections. Beneath each office title, the voter will find the names of candidates. To make a selection for a candidate, simply push the gray button next to the candidate's name. An X will appear in the box next to the candidate's name to confirm that the selection has been made. If for any reason a voter changes their mind or accidentally pushed the wrong button, they simply push the button next to the name a second time. The X will disappear, thus allowing the voter to make a different selection. Note, too, that the machine does not allow a voter to overvote an office. If only one candidate is allowed in office, only one may be selected. If an office allows a voter to vote for more than one candidate, the voting machine will allow them to do so. A voter may vote for fewer than the allowed number of candidates, or not vote for any candidate in an office altogether. The choice is theirs. The voter continues voting the ballot by viewing and voting in the desired offices and selecting Next Page after voting on each page. To cast a write-in vote, press the button next to the words Write-in. The screen will change to a page that allows the voter to type in the name of a write-in candidate. When the voter is satisfied with the name they have entered, they push the Done button to return to the main ballot. Notice that the name entered now appears in the location below Write-in. The voter continues through the ballot until they reach the final Confirm Vote page. The screen is designed to force the voter to confirm the selection they had previously made prior to being allowed to cast their final vote. A voter can select the Review Ballot button if they would like to visually confirm their votes. In most cases, the voter is content with their choices and simply presses the button next to Confirm Ballot. When the Confirm Ballot button is selected, 2 small red lights will light above the red square Cast Vote button. This means that the voting machine is ready to accept the voter's final ballot. To cast a final ballot, simply push the Cast Vote button. The machine will beep 3 times and the screen will read, "Thank you. Your vote has been successfully recorded." For a voter with a visual impairment, an audio converter is available at each polling site. The poll worker will attach the audio converter with headphones to the voting machine. When pressed once, the button to the top left will read the visually impaired voter a series of instructions to guide them through the ballot. In essence, if they touch the button once, it will read to them what is at that location. To select a candidate at that location, the voter will press the button twice quickly. They will proceed through the ballot button by button until eventually casting their final vote by pressing the Cast Vote button twice. When the audio device is unplugged, the voting machine automatically returns to normal operation.